He gave one of the best interviews. I mean, I've been in athletics now for over 35 years, and he convinced me that he was going to be able to do the job. And I told him, I said, we're under a little pressure here, Dave. The program took a hit last year. I've already screwed up once. Steve Gustafson had a great program. I really couldn't afford to screw up again. And you got to come through. And by golly, I mean, we struck gold. You know, purple and gold if you want to.
I was on Coach Scheidegger's first team at Eisenhower. He came in at a time where there was some turmoil for the program, where it really needed some healing. He brought faith back to the Eisenhower basketball program. He brought a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of integrity, and a lot of intensity. And I think at the time it was sorely needed, and I'll always remember that.
There's only one assistant coach who's been with Coach Scheidegger every single year. Do you know who that coach is?
Me.
That's right.
I know Coach Scheidegger a lot. He's my right-hand guy. Absolutely outstanding coach, outstanding guy. I had a great time with him, and I miss him.
From day one, I mean, the kids just jumped on him. It was just fantastic. I was so happy. I was so relieved. I was so excited.
When Dave took over, there were only 2 conference champion banners on the wall. They were on each side of the flag, and they were actually a little bit bigger than the flag, and it was because of how important that was. So from when the school opened until Coach Scheidegger took over, we had only won 2 conference championships. Now when we look back at Coach Scheidegger's legacy, they had to actually change how banners got hung in the gym. They had to put up new space for putting just the numbers of the conference championships, because we couldn't fit all the basketball championships in the gym anymore. And then of course we did have to make room for a state championship banner. Dave had 430 wins in his career. Since 2000, Coach went 320 and 104. There was a stretch of a 10-year period where at home we went 93 and 7. We won 8 conference championships in that 10-year stretch. Dave won 10 titles overall. We had 5 Final Eights and 1 state championship in 2008.
Dave's a great guy. He's a great coach. I have the utmost respect for him, and I think many in the coaching community do. I think all of us do, and I think he's a Hall of Fame coach. I really do. I am so pleased to be able to say that I coached against him. We had some great games, and also coached with him. All that competition, because he's a competitor, and he tells his players and everyone else how he wants it done, but we're also great friends.
When you get the schedule to start a year, you'd look at those games and you'd circle that Eisenhower game, home or away, because you knew that would be an important ball game.
We had many tremendous games against Eisenhower through the years, conference games, non-conference games, tournament games. The big thing that I always thought was impressive was the fact that he'd have 5 seniors one year, they'd have a great team, they'd graduate, you think, oh, we got a chance to get them next year, and he'd have 5 new guys that were just as good. And these 5 new guys that would come in there weren't guys that moved in, they were guys that were in the Eisenhower program throughout the years. So I really respect the way that every year you always have a solid crew and get the program going.
When we went to state a few years ago, I got a call from Coach Scheidegger as I'm walking onto the bus. Just congratulating me, congratulating our program, what a special opportunity is, everything like that. And for him to reach out like that to me as a young coach at the time, it just really meant a lot, because it showed, he cared as a peer, cared as a friend.
I loved how Dave had the respect and the commitment from his kids. And I'd see Dave talk to his kids, he'd be eye to eye, they'd look at him, they'd listen to him. Whether he was yelling at him or patting them on the back, there was always that connection that he had with kids. And not all coaches can get that. And Dave certainly had that with Ike kids.
He did it the right way. Everyone knew what he was running offensively, but he stuck to his game plan, and he was very successful doing so. And my hat's off for him for sticking to his guns.
You could talk about all the championships, and you could talk about the state championship and all that stuff. But I think it's more about, besides all the wins and all those great things, it's about the way he built that program. You know, the family, the Ike family, and the players and everyone who come back and work for him and come back and watch the games.
His players knew that he had their best interests at heart. He was so dedicated to his sport that it rubbed off on all his players, and it rubbed off on his assistants, and it certainly rubbed off on me. I wish every coach would be like Dave Scheidegger.
When we played at Eisenhower one year, one of our players, Josh Michaels, scored his 1,000th point. After the game, we ended up beating him, so like any coach after a loss, you're upset. And Coach Scheidegger came into our locker room to present Josh the game ball, and I just thought it was another great example of what a classy individual Coach Scheidegger is.
What I respect about Ike, they did everything right on and off the court. If I had a son that was going through a school, to me it would be a great honor for my son to play for a coach like Dave Scheidegger.
My favorite Coach Scheidegger mannerism would be the stomping of his foot. After we'd be running ultimate swing for about 35 seconds, he'd be continuously yelling at us to get a swing layup, all while stomping his foot. But the only thing everyone could hear was the foot, couldn't hear what he was saying.
My favorite Scheidegger mannerism would be when he would stomp on the floor. You knew he was fired up when he did that.
One of my favorite Coach Scheidegger on the court memories was when you'd be guarding the ball for approximately 1 second, and you'd be right in the ref's ear, asking for the 5-second call very animately.
I remember anytime he made a mistake, he would always say, when I'm right, and when I'm wrong, I'm still right.
I just always remember he used to say to the shooting guards, your job is not to react, your job is to shoot. So whether you make it or miss, you have the same reaction.
This is how feedback suggestions go with Dave. Make a comment about maybe the defense should do this, and this is the response usually is, yeah, but I'm probably just going to end up doing what I thought was right the first time, and let's be honest, he was right. He was right most of the time.
My wife always talks about, she comes to the games and she doesn't really watch the game, but she just loved watching the Eisenhower coach, she said, because of all his animations out there.
Early in the game, he'd jump up and run around, and then as he got control of the game, he'd calm down. Then we'd make a little comeback, and he'd get all riled up again, and he'd calm down. But you know what? He's fun to watch.
His reactions to terrible officiating, specifically the body language, facial expressions that he would demonstrate when refs would make terrible calls. If you go back through old newspaper pictures of him, his face in these newspapers normally looks something like...
Doggone it! Gosh, pay attention! Focus! Confidence! And know your role.
I always remember Coach being, the halftime talks being very intense. You always had to be careful to not get too close to Coach during his speeches, because he might get a little bit of a shower.
I'll say this, Coach was always animated, especially on game days. So we knew he cared, and he wore that on his sleeve. Which, if you've ever seen Eisenhower varsity basketball game, you know that.
The one thing I would tell Dave, though, is when you complain about an official's call and you try to jump up and down, you don't have great ups, Dave. You don't have great ups.
My favorite Dave Scheidegger mannerism. God, he used to slam that effing metal chair. And of course, Macau would slam it up like, Jesus, you two, what the hell's going on?
I remember Coach Scheidegger, or Digger as we always called him, always wanted to dunk. Loved dunks. I don't know if he was never able to dunk, but he was always fascinated by dunks. And I remember one day saw him out the window, and they were playing. I think it was a soccer unit at the time, and he's out there doing like 360s. Dunking on the goal post, just sit there laughing, watching him attempt these 360 dunks.
Coach, 15 years ago when I and the rest of all the crazy parents came into the youth program, we had no idea why you were so passionate and demanding over how your youth program was run. The best way to describe my years of experience with you is the most often question I ever had asked of me in running your youth program and then with the high school program is, what do you guys do at the youth level? Every other high school in the area now models what Eisenhower has done, and that's because of your passion to make sure every kid had an opportunity had a great experience, and was given a great chance to make his high school basketball team. Thanks, Coach.
The youth program has been a very important part of our tradition here at Eisenhower, and what Dave started 20-some years ago has really blossomed into a huge program for us and a great feeder source for our varsity program.
Not many people realize the amount of energy that Coach Scheidegger put into running his summer camps. There were weeks in which he went 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. He made sure each kid had fun, improved their basketball skills, but most importantly, felt a part of the Eisenhower program.
Coach Scheidegger's camps were awesome. I was laughing pretty much the whole camp.
So I think one of the best things that I remember, especially with Coach Scheidegger, is the summer camps. Being, in 5th, 6th grade, it felt like Coach Scheidegger, you always, knew who we were, whether if it was like 60 kids, 70 kids. It was a very personal experience. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I remember, being a kid and then coming full circle, being an instructor. I think that's one of the best things really that I think of when I think of Coach Scheidegger.
One of the first memories I actually have is back at the youth camps when I was probably in 4th or 5th grade. He let me play with everyone. That was really one of my first memories of basketball.
I remember when you used to take us on tours around local grade schools where we would tell the kids about how to listen to teachers, how to set goals for themselves. And I remember senior year when I ended up shattering a backboard at New Berlin Center, and this is actually a piece of that backboard.
One of my favorite memories of Coach Scheidegger is the scouting reports that we used to get that included the names of the players that we were playing on the other team that were often inaccurate. Benny Wisniewski, New Berlin West's best player, was always known as Vinny. We often played against the president of Egypt, Anwar Sadat. His name was actually Jamal Anwar, but he was named the president of Egypt, Anwar Sadat, in the scouting reports. Probably the most famous one is Robbie Gertzen, a player from New Berlin West, and he was always Brian Gertz-Brian in the scouting reports.
30-page scouting reports for games twice a week, Shides, that's dedication.
He would start writing something in caps lock that was supposed to be emphasized, like, make sure we get a hand up on the shooter, don't leave him. But then he would forget to turn caps lock off, so the remaining 2 pages of the scouting report would all be like he was shouting at you.
I remember in high school, my sometimes the arch on my free throws needed work, so I remember Dave setting up a volleyball post, which is a little exaggerated in terms of the arch you would need on a free throw.
One thing I'll always remember is during my senior year, you allowing and also participating in our comedy Dream Team video, starring some of the guys who didn't see the court as often. I think now that you have more free time, you'll really be able to pursue your acting career to your fullest.
At a varsity reserve game on a Saturday morning, I was responsible for bringing the donuts. Then I was coaching the reserve game, and it wasn't going quite the way Dave wanted it to, and he got a little upset with me and angrily sat over by me. But unbeknownst to him, but the rest of the team, he sat on the donuts. So we all got a big chuckle at his expense, and he wasn't real happy with me to begin with.
I'm going to bring up one of my favorite Scheidegger facial expressions. Most of them happen on Saturday mornings when it was coaches bring their daughters to work day. Coach Radke would come walking in nonchalant, and right behind him through that door would be his 4 daughters walking in this perfect straight line, perfect spacing. And Scheidegger would be watching the whole way through, and you just kind of turn to the rest of us guys and have this big grin on his face and shake his head like, what the heck was Coach Radke getting himself into?
I remember playing a road game against Thomas More, and Thomas More started number 54, a 6'8" center. He was not included on any scouting report that Scheidegger had given us. On one of the first plays, I'm playing 10 feet off of him, and he hits a 3. Scheidegger calls a timeout and yells to me, Hoinacki, are you going to guard Bunt Rock? And I say, I don't know who that is. And he says, number 54, Bunt Rock. He's an all-conference golfer.
The favorite memory I have of Coach Scheidegger is just kind of constant stories that he would tell, and they would be the same every year. If we threw a skip pass from the corner of the court to the top of the key, he'd stop practice, throw his piece of paper out of his back pocket, watch it twirl to the ground, and tell us that it was a dunk for Rico Combs on the other end. And we would all just stand there puzzled because we had no idea who that was.
I always remember when we would have a bad practice, Shides would always slowly take off his glasses, rub his eyes, be like, boys, we gotta pick it up.
Open gyms with Coach Scheidegger, always playing the same 10 songs over and over again. He rocks in the treetop all night long.
Open gyms, and for whatever reason, to this day, the Monster Mash, I don't know why it was on your playlist. I have no idea why that was constantly on the playlist. It was the middle of November. The Monster Mash, it was a graveyard smash. I have no business knowing that song, and I learned it at open gyms at basketball. Crazy.
I remember going to the basket in a layup line, running to the hoop, finishing a layup, and running to the back of the line, and then I hear, Brezovar, we jump stop on our layups. Eventually I figured that out, and a little later in the year we were actually playing New Berlin West, and we had the ball, we were down 1 with under a minute left, and of course I figured it out. I pump fake, had a sandwich, leaned in, drew some contact, ended up converting the layup, and lo and behold, we went on to win the game. But it all started back earlier that year, 6 months ago, with the jump stop.
I remember when Pete Monfrey hit the game-winning shot at Cudahy. I hugged him, and while we're all celebrating, I hear in my ear, Monfrey! You had jumped on the pile and celebrated with all of us. It was great.
Anytime we had a snow day, my phone would ring here at home. And my wife would say, it's Dave Scheidegger. Mike, we gotta get into the gym today.
So my favorite memory with Coach Scheidegger took place my senior year in a sectional game. We had been running the interchange swing entry all game long, and I told Coach an idea at halftime that we could fake the interchange screen and set a down screen on the other end and get an open 3. And Coach put the play in, but he wasn't very enthusiastic about it. So late in the second half, as I'm bringing the ball up the court, I just called that play on my own. And you can tell Coach Scheidegger on the sideline isn't too thrilled about it. And I remember I pointed at him with a little, this one's for you. And Danny Cake came up and set the fake screen. I went the other way. We got a down screen for Gary Brugman on the other side and got a wide open 3. Whether Coach knew it then or not, he launched my coaching career with that play.
One of my favorite memories about Coach Scheidegger is just how he would name drills or certain moves after previous players that he would have. For example, he would have the Hoj 3 or the Hoj layup or the Hoj dunk.
Probably the most significant play in my own personal career, and it was big in the teams as well, was the sectional final in 2008. We led the whole game, but unfortunately kind of gagged away a lead at the end and led to a game-tying dunk with like 20 seconds left for Brown Deer. And in his usual super calm, collected self, of course, Coach Scheidegger did not call a timeout. He let us walk it up the floor, just gave a simple wheel it call, got a little kick into Mike Koinacki in the paint. Everyone just collapsed on him, so he kicked it out to me, hit a 3 to go to state, and then we all just kind of had pandemonium. But I think that was kind of the faith that Coach had in his players. He could have called timeout and overcoached and let the defense set up, but instead it was more of a let the players feel it out. I trust them.
There was always the Pat Botus story, where every time we were having struggles trying to get to know our roles, he'd tell us a story about Pat Botus and how he never was the best player on his team, but he knew whenever he got in the game to pass the ball to Pat Botus because that was what you needed to do for the team to win.
The one thing I always remember is every time you got in a game, you passed me the ball. No matter where you were, you looked for me, and thanks again.
One of the specific things I think I remember about Coach was the last game we ever played in high school. He took the time to come sit down next to me, put his arm around me because he knew how much I cared about Eisenhower basketball. And I had never played very much. I didn't get a lot of PT. And that's something that stuck out to me a lot that I'll never really forget. I think it was important for him. He recognized all the heart and the energy that I put into trying to make the team play Eisenhower basketball. That was a real meaningful, memorable thing for me that Coach took the time to do.
What I remember most is the game against New Berlin West. My last game, it was a heartbreaker. We went to overtime. But the best memory around that game was the next game West played, they had to go to Eisenhower and play Arrowhead. I went to the game, and at halftime I was sitting at a cafeteria table, and you sat down next to me, and we just sat there and talked about the game, and it was probably the first time I laughed since after that heartbreak. So it meant so much to me, and I still think about that every day. So thanks a lot, Coach.
We were playing Franklin at the time. We had a big game coming up, and Bobby Blessington, Coach Scheidegger's pet project, sprained his ankle. And Coach was panicked after the game, wanted to get him healed up. Was so panicked, grabbed this old trash can. He didn't take the time to clean it out. There was Big Mac wrappers still floating in there with the water and the ice, and had him stick his whole leg in there trying to ice down his ankle.
Yeah, the ice bucket story is, believe it or not, is true. I'm pretty sure there was still quite a bit of garbage left in that garbage can. Coach Scheidegger assured me that I really needed to get that iced immediately. I'm very thankful I didn't develop some sort of staph infection from that, but it showed the nurturing side of Dave for sure.
Coach Scheidegger's greatest strength to me is his unwavering commitment to teaching kids and his discipline to doing the right thing, and much more than winning and losing, because champions are people who stand the test of time, and clearly Dave did.
First thing that comes to mind when I think about Coach Scheidegger was just how genuine and personable he was. Just working with him so many times as a student and as an athlete and even as a coach later in life was just that he was always approachable, would always talk to you and treat you like a normal human being. It was just always a great interaction. You could always count on him for good advice.
During our team's 2005-2006 playoff run to sectional finals, one of the things that I remember very clearly about Coach Scheidegger was his ability to keep the entire team calm. There was a lot of excitement during that time for all of us, but he remained focused on the task at hand. His ability to celebrate the highs, but then also feel sad in the lows with us as well. One day a kid who shall not be named walked in during the start of the playoffs with some goofy looking long socks, and Scheidegger instantly put a stop to it, and he just said, there's going to be no goofy socks. We're all going to dress the same. And it always just stuck out to me that, you know, everything he did was always about the team.
You knew that he cared about you, whether it was shaking your hand after practice or sending you a handwritten note. You know, still things that I do today after coaching 17 years myself.
Favorite Coach Scheidegger memories, first and foremost, got to go with the parent night speech. Everybody's favorites, talking about his dad and mom and counting the cars in the gas station. Always got better, even as an assistant coach. It would cheer me up every time I would hear it again.
Probably one of the biggest memories I have of Coach Scheidegger that really encapsulates who he was as a coach was after we won state. They have us all on a stand on the edge of the court facing our student section. They finally hand over the gold ball to Coach. He holds it up for maybe a second and immediately hands it to the players and kind of stands off to the side. I think that kind of shows just what it was about for him. It was never really about him getting glory or winning something big for himself. It was about creating experience for the kids and letting them have center stage. That really showed it in probably maybe the biggest moment of his career.
Coach Scheidegger's greatest strength is his ability to see potential in players that everyone else seems to have overlooked. Almost every year, other schools would ask our coaching staff, who's the senior going to be this year that comes out of nowhere? And that's a testament to Coach Scheidegger's ability to get the best out of his players.
I remember one year we lost the game to Vincent, and he called me that night and said, I think we found our point guard. Well, that was in July to end the summer league with a JV kid that we weren't sure where he was going to fit into his role. And he was right. That kid ended up having a big role for us that following year.
The one thing I took from Coach is the importance of being a great teammate, not only being a good teammate on the court, but being a good classmate in the halls, in the classroom. Coach was really big on this, would stress it to the kids. This is a direct reflection on Tuesdays and Friday nights to see how crowded those stands are and how many of those people, classmates, administrators, teachers, come and support you guys on the court. I know when I first heard that, I thought that was, boy, that seems a little odd, but he was 100% correct.
One of the life lessons Coach taught me, something I carry with me today would be, I remember talking to him a few days after my first son was born, and I was telling him what a unique experience it was and how it was really nothing like I expected, and he stopped me and said, if you haven't figured it out by now, life is not all about you, is what he told me, and that's something that really put things in perspective that day, and that's something I think about every day.
Dave, congratulations on your retirement. Thinking back all the years that we got on that damn mini bike and had to drive to Calhoun School every day to play basketball, and that wasn't enough, so he made us drive out to Waukesha, and then after a while we started setting up Hickory Grove, Gatsky's, Guyets, all the guys. It was like Boys Town at your house.
Dave, from a guy who coached against you and has the utmost respect for you and your program, congratulations on your retirement. Best wishes to you and Donna. You've done so much for Eisenhower, but now it's time for you to enjoy your retirement, and you and Donna can have a lot of trips or whatever you're going to do. But just a wonderful job you did, Dave, and like I said before, Hall of Fame job.
Congratulations on your retirement. You have to understand the legacy you left behind was so special for those young men that got to play for you, and what you meant to that school and that program. Outstanding job. Enjoy your retirement. You're never going to forget about coaching. Trust me, I still go to games and it still comes back. But you've done a great job, and it's been an honor to call you a friend.
Thank you for all your years of service. Grateful all three of our sons got to participate in your program. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your program. New Berlin, Eisenhower, and the entire community is a better place because of your years of service. Thank you.
Coach Scheidegger, thank you for everything you've done. It's been a privilege knowing you, and I'm glad my sons had the opportunity to meet you in the short time that we've been with the program.
Coach Scheidegger, your camp games were really fun.
I would just like to thank Scheidegger for really growing my love for basketball.
Thank you for a great career, and I hope you have a long and happy retirement.
Thank you for teaching me the majority of what I know about basketball, and always trying to keep me positive no matter how many mistakes I would make or how many mistakes the team would make.
Coach Shies, I just want to say thank you for being such a big part in the player I am today and developing me as a person on and off the basketball court.
I would like to thank Coach Scheidegger for giving me the opportunity to grow both as a person and as a player.
Coach, I just want to say congrats on the retirement. Well deserved. You had a huge impact on my life as a man, as a basketball player. So I just want to say thank you for everything you've done, and best of luck to you in the future.
Congratulations on the retirement. I hope you have lots of trips planned and lots of golf outings. It's a very, very well-deserved retirement, and you've touched so many lives, including my own, and you've made me into the person I am today, and just thank you so much, and I'll never forget you. So hopefully I'll see you around, maybe catch you out on the links.
Thank you, Coach, for everything you've done.
Coach, I just want to say best of luck, and you had a great, crazy career. Eisenhower's been so successful thanks to you. Best of luck, and I hope you find something cool to do moving on.
Congrats on your retirement and all your basketball accomplishments over the years, Coach Scheidegger. I'll always cherish the fun and success I had with my teammates and you as our coach over the years.
Coach Shides, congrats on your retirement. Thank you for all you've done for me, for the Eisenhower program. Not only have you influenced me on the basketball court, but also you've taught me so much about life in general, and I really appreciate not only being a great coach, but a great friend, great mentor towards me. You made me into the man I am today. So, thanks again. Congrats on your retirements. Enjoy the retired life.
Coach Scheidegger, thank you for not only leading the New Berlin Eisenhower men's basketball program, but most importantly, thank you for paving the way for your students and athletes to become successful, well-respected individuals off the court. Your legacy will forever be carried on by the student athletes that you mentored. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you, Coach Scheidegger, for everything you did for me, and thank you for always telling the Jim Root story every time that shot comes up. Much appreciated.
Coach Scheidegger, thank you for teaching me what can be accomplished both as an individual and as a team working together. And thank you for helping me to frame my thought process through confidence in both sports and life.
I'll always remember the state title run, and I just want to thank you for greatly improving my life over the years.
Thanks, Coach Scheidegger, for being a great coach, and congratulations on your retirement. You turned me from a skinny, lengthy freshman into a college recruit.
Was fortunate enough to spend 3 very formidable years with you, and from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough. those will always be memories that I'll cherish for a lifetime, and just want you to know it really meant a lot, and I wish you nothing but the best in retirement in the years ahead. Thank you for everything, Coach.
Coach Shides, I just wanted to sincerely thank you. Basketball was probably the best part of my high school experience, and you were a part of those memories, so thank you.
I just want to thank you for taking the time and putting in the effort and all the stress into not only helping all of the players succeed on the court, but also by putting us in the best position to succeed off the court as well. Thank you very much. Enjoy your retirement. You deserve it.
Coach Scheidegger, congratulations on such a wonderful career. You have inspired young students, athletes, and impacted a wonderful community in such a positive manner. I am proud to call you my coach, my mentor, and most importantly, my friend. Thank you for everything.
Coach, I just want to say congratulations on your retirement. Well deserved. Hope you got a bunch of trips planned. You just had a tremendous impact on my life and who I am as a coach. Very, very thankful that I had the chance to play for you. Can't thank you enough for everything you did. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.
I wouldn't have grown up to do the things that I've done in my life or be the person I am today if I wouldn't have had the opportunity to have you as a coach and a mentor. So thank you sincerely and genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I wish you well, and congrats on your retirement.
Congrats, Coach Scheidegger, on your retirement. I hope you have some time to reflect on all your achievements over the past 27 years. I feel comfortable in saying for a number of other guys that we appreciated all your passion and your teaching, everything you did to prepare us, including those scouting reports, and how you treated all of us as equal and coached us hard the whole way through.
Hey, Coach. I'll never forget all the time you spent with me. Anytime I wanted to shoot after practice, you'd bring out a badminton racket, which was terrible. But you'd spend so much time with me after practice, gave me a basketball, you sometimes left the door cracked open so I could sneak in, you let me play with the old folks that were playing a pickup game afterwards, and you'd always sit there and tell me not to roll my ankle. But you spent so much time with me, and I'll never forget that. Thank you so much.
Coach, I just want to say thank you for all your dedication and hard work, and I just want to wish you the best of luck with retirement.
So I just want to say thank you, good luck on the next adventure, and you've certainly made a tremendous difference in my life and the life of hundreds of other young men, so thank you very much.
Coach Scheidegger, I continue to thank you, and I know this is end of an era in terms of your coaching, but your impact will live on. I consider you a lifelong friend. Everything that I do as a leader, as a person, I try to inspire to some of the things I learned at a very young age, and those are some very formative years for me as a person and in my developments. I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done.
Coach, good luck in your retirement. Thanks for everything you did for the Eisenhower basketball program. Thanks for just being a great role model in life as well.
Dave, I'm grateful to you for taking a chance on me as a JV coach some 15 years ago. You taught me a lot then. After 3 years with you, I'll forever be grateful for you supporting my move to be a head coach and give me a great recommendation. I'm extremely grateful to be following in your footsteps now, and one thing that you taught me is that I have to be true to myself. You told me that you have to follow in your own. You can't follow in someone else's footsteps. You have to do what you think is right, and that's one thing that I've tremendously respected about how you've run your program over the years. You had a very core set of beliefs that you held true to, earned the kids' respect, and nobody worked harder than you.
Coach Iago, I miss you. I love you. Good guy, one heck of a guy. You mean that to the coaching staff, myself, Drew, Tyler, Michael, and Anthony. You thank everything with God, and we really do appreciate.
Coach, best of luck in retirement. I wish you and Donna nothing but the best, traveling around, enjoying this next chapter in your life. Thanks for your friendship. Thanks for keeping me a part of your program for so long. And last, thanks for doing things the right way, teaching me to do things the right way, and being such a positive influence on not only myself, but so many kids and players over the years.
From student teaching all the way up through my career in New Berlin, you've been a part of that and probably responsible for most of it. So thanks, Dave.
Coach, one thing I just want to say is thank you for everything you taught me as a smart aleck 16-year-old kid, and now as I'm an adult and a father of children of my own, is just giving me so many great tidbits of advice here and there, and how to be unselfish and treat people with great respect. Those are great life lessons that I take with me every single day. So thank you, and I wish you nothing but the happiest times in retirement.
Coach Scheidegger, loved you as a teacher, coach, colleague, and now as a friend.
Coach, thanks for everything. As a player, you made the experience of high school basketball everything I imagined it could be. You were always there for us. You made it fun. You were passionate, and you showed us what it was like to build a team. I'll never forget you giving me my first opportunity as a coach. I'll forever be grateful for that. Congratulations on your retirement and a Hall of Fame career.
Hey Dave, thanks. I appreciate the dedication and the hard work that you gave for all those years.
Congratulations on being a teacher for all these years, because everybody says it's coaching. At the end of the day, it's about teaching kids how to be young adults, and again, over your span of doing that, you've had a tremendous impact on so many kids, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Great job, Dave.
Dave, congratulations on your retirement. It's been the greatest time of my life working with you. I know if I look back at all the things we've done together, it's not the wins and losses, and that's the thing that I've learned the most from you. It's how we treat each other, how we're a family, how much we've looked out for each other. We'll always look back and watch that state title game with great fondness, but it wasn't because of the win, it was because about the kids that were in that group. Eisenhower had been a big part of my life, and it's a lot because of you. And congratulations on that Hall of Fame career that you had.
One word to describe Dave. Whew, that's tough. Now my official buddies would say whiny, but I will say sincerely caring. Very caring.
Caring.
Authentic. Leader.
Hardworking.
Hardworking.
Fundamentals.
Funny.
Dedication.
Coach. Patience.
Honorable.
Team.
Excitable.
Doggone it.
Doggone it!
Dedicated.
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 Dedicated. Loyalty.
Competitive.
Competitive.
Prepared.
Go Eisenhower.
Class.
Consistency.
Goofy.
Perseverance.
Humble.
Devoted.
Focused.
Selfless.
Supportive. Absolutely awesome.
Intense.
Inspiring.
Empowering.
Sincere. Passionate.
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 One word to describe Coach Scheidegger for me is brother.